Welcome to Nintendo Voice, your voice for everything Nintendo. This is episode 103, recorded on the 24th of August, 2017. My name's Lewis Pugh, and joining myself to talk Nintendo, we have Harrison Milfeld.
Hey, everyone.
And Colin Crompton.
Yeah, hey, I'm back. I was declared MIA last week due to work being hectic. It's okay now. I'm back.
That tends to happen, you know, MIA or just the real world just pulling us away from the things we love.
The real world pulling us away from the podcast world. Yeah.
And the two things we clearly love here are both Nintendo and podcasting. And on this episode of this fine Nintendo podcast, we have some what we've been playing, we do have Nintendo news, and we have some of your listener questions. First things first, though. Usual bit of housekeeping. So, number one, we still have our Patreon competition going, and this is kind of going to our news, I guess. But we do have a Super Nintendo Classic Mini Edition, and it can be yours. All you need to do is join us on our Patreon, a minimum of $1 a month, and we'll pick a random Patreon supporter, and the Super Nintendo Mini Classic will be yours. And you get to help out the show as well. So it's a win-win.
Help out the show as well, and, you know, I know there's plenty of you who are frustrated in North America about the surprise pre-orders that we just got. Well, I'm just saying, roll the dice with us. It's only $1 a month, and if you don't like us, you can just go on ahead. But then again, we may be offering more prizes. Who knows?
Yeah, you got better odds than a 20-sided die currently, so could be a lot worse. If you are interested in that, please do head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Voice. And of course, for the audio-only listeners, we also do now do videos live, youtube.com/Nintendo Voice. And with that, let's get on to the show itself. So what have we been playing? Harrison, what have you been up to?
Who are you directing that towards?
Yeah, who exactly? You just basically...
I said a name! Maybe my voice is cutting out, but I did say the word Harrison as I pointed.
Okay, now you did. Now you did. Okay. Well, I've just been playing more Splatoon 2, and nothing really new to update from that's the point, but I know we're getting new updates with the game coming up, which we'll be discussing later in the show, but it's nothing really new to report on, but I do want to talk briefly about a game that came out about 3 years ago on the 3DS, and one that I was gifted to me about a month or two ago, and it was because it was a Nintendo Selects version, of course, and that is Kirby Triple Deluxe. I am near the end of this game at this point. It's fairly short, well, as you can probably say the case for many Kirby games, but one that I kind of get a bit of enjoyment out of its little sweet little charm, even though I feel like if I'm going to recommend early beginner platformers, I feel like Kirby is usually a good step for it, but Kirby can still offer a challenge to whatever. I really do feel it's just, in this case, I'm kind of seeing why people prefer Planet Robobot as opposed over this one. Things that really I did like about as far as the 3D effects for this one, because is that you're going from the background to foreground in some of these levels, and that's of course used for a little bit of puzzle solving when you're trying to be a full completionist. And I don't know, there are times where I'm even looking at these levels and I'm like, where are these things going on? But it just, for something that is technically the first Kirby game that was to be released in the 3DS, this is, it's a nice change, but it's something I may not be going back to afterwards, probably after I'm done with it, unless I really want to just go full completionist on this. But that's what I've just been kind of slightly busy on for a little bit, just because with Samus Returns coming up, I'm just trying to get through my entire 3DS backlog for right now.
Clear it out before that gets there.
Oh yeah, we're about a month away, and boy, wow. But that's short and sweet for me right now. But Lewis, did you ever play Kirby Triple Deluxe?
I have played it. I never did complete Triple Deluxe, oddly. So it obviously didn't grab me in the way some Kirby games do. It looked nice. It kind of felt good, but I felt it lacked like a hook, as it were. Good old Pirate Kirby. It just seemed a bit samey. But it seems odd because it seemed like a well-polished experience, but it just seemed a bit more Kirby. What I did play was good.
I've still yet to play a Kirby game, so I cannot comment.
Wait, ever? Like, not even like...
Not a single Kirby game. It's a completely unknown entity to me.
I would say, if I were you,
play Dream Course.
Well, download the 3D classics of Kirby's Adventure. Trust me.
Okay.
Yeah, just do that one. That's a nice little way to start out, and it's probably one of the best in the series, aside from Kirby Superstar and
Well, Fun Pack, as it was known over here originally.
Oh, is it on Fun Pack?
Fun Pack. FUNPAK.
Oh,
I'm looking that up.
because of the game pack? Terrible.
Oh, I want to see what this box looks like.
It'd be terrible.
I'm not sure if the box is much different, apart from the actual logo
itself. Nope, I found it. And unless, oh no, it's spelled Fun Pack with PAK without the C.
That's awful. That's awful.
Yeah, but a very good game though. That's the bit you should take away from that.
Okay.
No,
with its European name. Very fun game.
But
that's it's advertised as 7 games in one, even though there's even more.
Yeah, even though it's coming out.
That's brilliant advertising. There's at least 7 games.
Yeah, well, you unlock the others, as it were.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I guess a bit like the Super Nintendo Mini 20+ one, as it's in Europe, it's named. Yes. Where I think in America it doesn't actually do the whole 20+ one on the box. Anyway, for myself,
but that's me right there. Sorry to cut you off, but so
that's all right. I've been playing something that I kind of teased in the last episode. I showed off the title screen a little bit and the little intro cutscene.
I did see this,
which was from Sonic Mania on the Nintendo Switch, and I've not beat it yet, but I've almost have. I'm on the last, the Sonic terminology is that we zones, acts. I'm on the last zone, I believe.
Okay.
And so far, so good. Very, very cool game Sonic Mania is. And the odd thing is, I didn't really spend a huge amount of time with the 2D Sonics. Right. They were always kind of like a foreign experience to me. Like might play it for a little bit, like round of friends or round of family or something. But because I never owned a piece of Sega hardware until later on when they were all retro, and so yeah, I didn't really play them for like in very short bursts. This is all right, but I was also the mindset at the time, well, this is the enemy. I probably shouldn't get too involved here.
The enemy, as far as you were just having a Sonic game on a Switch? Wait, what? Is that what you're just
No. Back in the day, I'm talking about like I hadn't played many 2D Sonic games, and when I did, it felt wrong. It felt dirty. And if I was enjoying it, I wouldn't convey it at the very least.
See, my only experience with the Genesis or even Sega games in general for like during that time, since obviously my household was a Nintendo, like me and my brother were Nintendo guys, but we would always go up to a friend's house to play Genesis. That was when I started playing that version of Mortal Kombat or Sonic the Hedgehog or Gunstar Heroes or even Phantasy Star. That was things like where I got things introduced to it. So, and yeah, it did feel really weird when my brother and I, we actually rented a Dreamcast so many weekends in a row just so we could play. So,
see, yeah, because I was a Sega kid growing up. Until the Saturn. The Saturn was the one I was like, this isn't very good. And that's when I made the switch over. Yes, I played all the Sonic games, the 2D ones. So Sonic Mania is something that interests me quite deeply. For what I've seen of Sonic Mania, is the only niggling thing is the bonus level is the one from Sonic 3.
There are 2 types,
which is like
you were not aware.
Oh, there's also is it Sonic CD?
I'm not sure it's actually from anything. The other one,
right?
I could be wrong.
I think it takes some inspirations.
from like Sonic R, as in that racing game, and something else.
Terrible. Yeah,
but that bonus game is actually really fun though.
Oh, is it done good? Okay, that's right. But yeah, I was kind of hoping they have like the Sonic 2 half pipe bonus stage.
No,
But that
there's
doesn't
Sonic
seem
2
to be the
half pipes here. No. What there is from Sonic 2 though is split screen mode. You do have to unlock it, but you can play in a very stretched split screen mode as per the original, which is quite cool. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
And that's somewhat of the theme. It's kind of a tale of two stories here, I guess. One is it is very faithful. It feels like how you remember it. It looks like how you remember it, but you know, clearly better. And there's a lot of authenticity there.
Yeah.
But on the other side, also good. There's a lot of surprises.
Yes.
Like some of them have already, you know, seeped out on the internet. I mean, these things don't take long nowadays. Without spoiling, there's a very cool boss fairly early on in the game, which takes inspiration from a spin-off Sonic game, which is done very well. And apparently there's a mode you can unlock, which fleshes that out even more so.
I've heard of this. Yep.
Yeah, like that on its own was awesome. Because I had a little bit of experience in that sort of gameplay recently as well. But there's lots of little things, really. But it all seems like a really well done, like surprisingly well done package. Like somehow combining the fact that it looks and it feels and it plays like an old Sonic game, but it has new stages, new music, new mechanics, new bosses, new just enemies and such. And there's no like glaring difference. Oh, I'm an old level, I'm a new level. They all feel at home, and like the fact that they've done that across the board is remarkable. I'm really enjoying Sonic Mania. It's
okay.
Like it's the most I've spent on most time I've spent on a 2D Sonic game, and I finally like understand. This is the flow of a 2D Sonic game, which I never quite got before.
As it turns you into like Sonic games can be good.
It can. Well, I mean, I was never against the idea of Sonic games. Like there's a few of the 3D ones I genuinely like. I like the early the two Sonic Adventure games. More so, you know, for the time. But I am now more interested in going back to the original Sonic games. I am realizing there was an exception to the my little backstory of 2D Sonic games. The one Sonic game I did own was Sonic CD. And that was because it was on the PC back in the day as well. And so I played a fair bit of that. Never did get that far into that, I don't remember, but I remember enjoying it. Yeah, that had a weird mechanic of going into the future, into the past.
It is, yeah.
Which kind of made the levels even bigger, which I struggled with apparently back in the day. Inspirations from all sorts, including Sonic CD as well. Full of surprises, but it's this really well done, well polished experience. It's kind of just nice to see after all these years, all the cynicism and you know around Sonic. This is a genuinely fantastic game. You know, it's great to hear people talking about it as well.
All we need now is like Mario Mania. It's like the same thing, but Mario.
Well, I mean.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Well, I know. Here's the thing, though. Mario has not really gone through the trajectory of what Sonic games have been as far as it dragged to the mud. So really, you had that in the form of like Mario Maker. I feel like we've done enough as far as 2D Mario games can be. You could maybe have somebody like, hey, $10, here's this new, basically, Super Mario World-esque type of game or something like that, but still... People who are clamoring like, oh wow, maybe they could do this for Mario. It's like they've been doing it for so long. Do you remember New Super Mario Brothers? That series line for the last 10 years.
Do you remember Sonic the Hedgehog 4?
Oh yes, that one.
That's the Sonic the Hedgehog of the new Super Mario Bros. I mean, there might be a slight difference in quality, but
exactly.
Just slight.
You know what the fans want? When they want a 2D Mario, they want big chunky sprites.
Yes.
But overall, as far as the experience,
Sonic is good again.
It's good. No, and it's one I'm looking forward to picking up finally. Oh, someday soonish. Is that do each of the characters control differently well enough that you're able to kind of go back and forth with each one with ease, as in like you're enjoying each one?
I've not actually experimented much with the characters yet. So I've been playing through as Sonic and Tails. And I can't remember if this was a thing back in the day. It's silly. But I think it might have been. But basically, player 2 can be Sonic outside of the competitive mode. And so he follows you around as normal. But if you pick up the player 2's controller, run and whatnot. So, the original 2 was like that as well.
Yes, it can be. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
It was
you can do that in Mania.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the same in this because you don't obviously the camera doesn't follow him at all.
No, that's right. Yeah.
And Sonic is ridiculously fast, and the camera pushes to him. But yeah, obviously you can be Sonic and Tails. You can be just Sonic, just Tails, or Knuckles. So I've not played any other configuration yet. Files, so you can jump around. But yeah, I imagine once I finish this last zone, assuming it is, I doubt there'll be a twist. You never know. I will probably start, jump back in as a different character. I'm not sure. I'm assuming the emeralds you collect are going to be per save file though. So it'd be interesting if you can go over your save file again, and try and collect the rest without having to do them in all one run.
How many emeralds have you collected?
I got the first 2 and I failed to get all the others since.
I imagine it's quite challenging after like the third. I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely an increase in difficulty on those bonus stages. The first 2 are basically teaching you what it is, and then it really ramps up. But the problem is you can't really retry it.
Oh, okay.
I guess that's how it was back in the day. Like you jump into it, you get your chance to do it.
Yeah. And
then if you fail, you're just on to the next thing.
You just got to move on. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's if you do have that one playthrough. I mean, that's definitely a consecutive playthrough thing, unless you're like as versed in Sonic as we may be in Mario, sort of style. Might have a chance then. But yeah, no, I'm definitely enjoying myself in Sonic Mania. The intro, which I had seen before, I saw that last week. That's still as good. I still let that run each time. I hear there's another one at the end, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
Ooh, that's
exactly. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums up Sonic Mania for me so far, which has been mostly what I've been playing. I dabbled a little bit back in. Well, I say again, I jump back into Zelda quite often. Picked up a couple more shrines, which is news to me. So I'm not using a guide, so the last few are going to take me a little while, I imagine. So I'm just wandering around every now and again, just going, "Oh, what's a shrine?"
Hey, Greg, would you say to anybody who is the biggest skeptic of the state of Sonic, though, a huge recommend?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think this is like a safe recommendation, I think, to most gamers out there. Which that's a big net you're casting. But whether you liked old Sonic, whether you even played old Sonic, I reckon give Sonic Mania a chance. It's just made with so much love and care. And it does genuinely have a lot of different play styles to it. You can obviously run through. I mean, a lot of this stands true to the older games as well. But I feel it's a bit more accessible now. But yeah, you can genuinely explore. You've got different characters. You've got different modes. You've got things to unlock, secrets to find. Great music. The graphics are incredibly sharp. Yeah. If you've got any interest in it, do check out Sonic Mania. It's also a good price, which doesn't hurt.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for myself. So, who do we have left?
I don't know.
Colin,
who could be last?
Colin, you're also here. What
I am here.
To?
Surprisingly, yes. So I downloaded a demo for a game I've been really desperately wanting to try out, and that is a spin-off game called Monster Hunter Stories.
Ooh.
Which is...
I forgot that demo was out.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a very generous demo. So let me go to the demo itself. The demo is very long. It's basically like the first chunk of the game. As in, you get through the tutorial, you get to the ability just to run around the world, catch monsters, raise them, and you get to do it. You get to do quite a lot of things. There's quite a variety for you to catch. I'm like, they just gave away the first part of the game for free, essentially.
Okay.
Now, the good thing about the demo is everything you do in it carries over to the main game.
Okay.
So
Answer my first question.
Yes, yeah. Plus, you get bonus things for collecting so many monsters, and I'm like, wow, they put a lot more effort into the demo than I thought it would. Anyway, on to the actual game.
A little bit like the oddly. Actually, no, I guess not. I was going to say, yeah, it kind of reminds me of the original Bravely Default demo, but that was actually its own thing.
That was its own
and
thing,
you had bonuses.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like demos where you transfer your progress.
Yes, because it feels like you haven't wasted any time. Because I was worried because, like,
Yes.
So Monster Hunter Stories is a fairly traditional JRPG in the setting of the Monster Hunter world. Yes, I was worried, like, if I do loads of, like, training and things, like, if I level up a lot, is it going to be a waste of time? I don't want to waste my time on it. So, yeah, I started playing it, and it tells you when you put up the demo, everything you do matters, basically. I'm like, good. They got that out of the way. But yeah, onto the game itself. It's kind of my dream game, really, because I wanted Monster Hunter to be more RPG heavy, because the main games themselves are RPGs. It's about your equipment and not much about anything else. Whereas Monster Hunter Stories, it's all about it's a JRPG. It's about leveling up. There's a very strong almost Pokemon aspect to it. Okay. It's about raising monsters as well. So as a rider, which is what you are in this game, a monster rider, you can catch monsters. When you don't actually do it, you don't catch monsters. You have to sneak into their nests and take their eggs. And then...
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so egg thievery is the main theme in this game. But... yeah, so you take the eggs back to your village and then you break the eggs open. You have to do like a mini game where you just tap on the egg and it gets random bonuses depending on where you tap. It's fun, but it's very basic. And then, the monster's yours and you just get to raise it. You get to rename it and it learns moves and it's essentially Pokemon at that point. But yeah, the game itself, I think this might be the best looking game on 3DS that I've seen.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Really?
The screenshots looks good. But yeah, I don't know how good it looks in the flesh, as it were.
I think it was just barely paid attention to it because I feel like it was just, for something like that, it just sounded like, I don't know, a little bit more lighthearted Monster Hunter. That's where I kind of got that sense of it, but...
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, well, it's very weird in that respect because you are playing as a young kid. I mean, I think he's like 15. So you're playing as a younger than usual hunter. But your job is not to hunt monsters. Your job is to catch them and raise them. But there's some very dark themes in this game. Like, one of the early CG movie quality cutscenes that happens at the beginning, a monster comes and it just destroys a village and kills a few people. You don't see the deaths themselves, but it's heavily hinted at. It's
implied, yeah.
And it's like, wow, okay. And this one kid loses his parents and he gets all depressed about it. I'm like, where'd the fun go in this game? At the start, it's like, hey, we're gonna go catch monsters, and next it's like,
better go and steal one of its eggs now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll teach it a lesson.
But this game has a lot of charm, especially in the way the characters interact with each other and things like that. Like the chief of the village, I don't normally like characters that do this, but for some reason he pulls it off. Everything he says rhymes, and it doesn't get it doesn't grate on you at all. It's very fun, but yeah, the game's it's good. It's really good. The combat system is very deep despite its simplicity, because essentially you have three options when you decide to attack something. It has a triangle system, so you got power, speed, and technical, I guess. It's basically speed beats power, power beats technical, technical beats speed, and you basically have to pick one. Your opponent picks one, and you see who wins. Yeah, so it's good. It's really good, and the demo is like just completely sold me on it. I mean, honestly, I'll get the demo on its own because it's like easily like 15 hours. At least that's what I got out of it so far.
Wow, 15
for a demo. Yeah,
That's
for
crazy.
a demo, I'm like,
yeah.
it's actually, I said they gave away like the first chunk of the game. I was like, I'll take it. I'm not complaining. So yeah, what's that story? It's an awesome game.
Cool. Well, yeah, it definitely seems like that's an easy recommendation in terms of it's a demo.
Yeah,
Check it out. There's enough of it there for you to decide for yourself whether
definitely.
you're going to want to buy the thing.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, definitely.
Cool. You just sold a copy of the demo for me.
And I will continue to be indifferent to Monster Hunter, but still respect the series.
I'll get you invested at some point, Harrison.
At one point, it just feels like it's a tough tat. Like, okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering in a weird way, because knowing that, like, Monster Hunter Worlds is, PS4 bound, and it doesn't sound like it's coming to the Switch. And hearing, tepid response about Double Cross being localized, I wonder if things like Monster Hunter Stories would make a jump to the Switch as a series.
Ooh.
And that would be where they would get divide.
See, if it got the full console treatment, I think it'd be quite good for it, because even though the game looks amazing on 3DS, there are some bits where you could tell that they're pushing the 3DS quite hard, even the new 3DS that I've got. Because when you walk into town, the people aren't people. They're like these weird like outlines of people that are like just a single color until you get near them, and then all their stuff, all their features pop into existence. So it's like, okay, I can see where those limitations have been kind of, they try to hide it, but it's hard to hide it when it's that obvious. But yeah, I mean, art style wise, it just looks incredible. It's kind of Breath of the Wild light, I would say, on 3DS. So it's good.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that out myself. Yeah, it should be good. So, Colin, does it cover you what you've been playing?
That does. I mean, I'll plug something towards the end of the show. I've been playing something else, but I'll plug that at the end.
Yeah.
But we do have something. When you mentioned Dream Game, though, Colin, we do have a poll to address right now, and last week we decided to put a poll between me and Luz's top Dream games. Simple enough. Put the poll out. Everything was good. One problem, and some of you may not notice, and I'm going to say I screwed up. I really screwed up. I did not think to. I thought this was for sure the game that he said on here, but I got confused. I had said that Luz's choice in the poll was a 3D Kirby game made by the Mario team. Turns out that wasn't it. No.
No, it wasn't my final choice. It was one of the ideas. I was,
it was one of them.
Staring in the pot, but no, it wasn't my final pick. That of course was a Mario and Sonic game made by the Mario team. So the Mario team part was right.
Yeah, the Mario team was right. I think that's where it was going through my head. I'm like, because I don't know. I thought about that. And I was like, no, he didn't say that. And I could have went back and listened to it, but no, I didn't. So,
however, all that said and done, there was a victor in the poll. There was a game decided, which was the Nintendo All Stars RPG made by Square Enix. It is what the listeners decided.
Which, I mean, to be fair, that was going to be hard to top.
It would have. I knew that.
That is the dream right there. I'm telling you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, congratulations, Harrison.
I voted for yours.
I didn't win a prize, unfortunately.
Harrison, you vote for a new game.
Oh, I won the SNES Mini. Thanks. It's going to be awesome.
No.
Thanks. Wow. Just give that to me.
Sorry, listeners.
Sorry, Patreon.
Sorry, Patreons, and then it's down to 0.
Yeah.
She gets wiped out. Oh dear.
Print out. Yeah, well, in terms of, well, in relation to patron stuff, we are doing listener questions there. We don't have a super topic. If you already are a member, please do send in some super topic suggestions. We could do some more either votes for topics, or we don't have quite enough. We'll just pick a random one for the week and we'll roll with that. But please do send some in. Obviously, you've got full reign, so go wild, ask some interesting questions, Nintendo related or not. But for now, let's jump into the Nintendo news. And the first thing we have on our agenda is that not Mass Effect. Fear Effect is being remastered and is coming to the Switch.
That's close enough.
News, but it's not Nintendo related.
We don't need Andromeda. I mean, I was excited for it, but now I'm just like, unless it's fixed.
I was going to say, you want to play the most broken game ever made? Yeah,
so who's Fear Effect?
I have.
I remember it. I mean, I never did get to play it, but I was, but no, I vividly remember seeing friends play this game, whatever. But I know it being advertised and reading about it, but I never did really experience so much to it. So, but this is going to be a remastered version, correct?
And I hope they fix it because Fear Effect, from what I remember, like back in the day, was a very janky game. But mainly because it's the only game I know where you can die just by standing still. Because your health's based on your fear level.
Okay.
So it's like, okay. So the more scared your character is, the more prone they are to dying. It's like, interesting idea.
Fear will kill you.
It will. It will. And honestly, I think that's like where kind of Eternal Darkness got that idea from, but they kind of perfected it a bit better with the whole sanity effects. Yeah, Fear Effect's weird. It's like that series has been, I was gonna say dead. It has been dead since like 99, 2000, right, yeah. Something like that. It was quite a late PlayStation series.
Mm-hmm.
Why now? Why? All these years later, it's like, oh, you know what we really need to do? Fear Effects. Yeah. There's a game series waiting to come back.
I think this was based off the, well, wasn't it based off, no, not based off there's a Kickstarter for this, whatever, but Sushi, which is also responsible for the forthcoming Fear Effects, Sedna is handling development duties in conjunction with Polish publisher Forever Entertainment. So, this is a concurrent kind of thing, I guess. So,
It's very weird. It's very odd. I mean, I know Square has a program, some sort of program where like we'll hand out IPs that have been dormant for ages to like, I guess almost indie developers at this point to sort of remaster. It's just weird that Fear Effect is the one they chose. I don't think it was too successful. I know it got a sequel, but back then any game could get a sequel. So,
yeah. Copies. Fear Effect got it back in.
Remaster this is because that term can vary depending on who's using it.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Like, is it going to be like the original game, but with higher resolution characters and higher textures and such, or are they going to essentially have to remake this thing?
Well,
yeah, I guess the difference between remake and remaster.
They're glad they got it. I mean, got it as far as anything like that because if you just go with something with a gameplay mechanic that's still today, it's definitely going to show its age. But to add to the start of the sequel did come out in February of 2001 North America. So.
2001? Wow. Okay. I didn't realize it was that late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you have that.
That's crazy.
Okay. I've lost my notes. My notes have gone. Can someone tell me what the next item of the news is?
Yeah, I can. Your notes are gone? How is that? Did you just delete
them? Because my other browser is gone. Oh. And it's not coming back for a bit.
Yeah, I can tell you what the next piece of news is. It's related to Fast RMX, and it's receiving a big update. And also, the game will become available in the Japan eShop for the first time.
That's awesome.
So,
wait, Japan didn't get it?
No, didn't.
That's interesting. I kind of assumed Japan would. I mean, F-Zero is pretty big over there, and it pretty much is F-Zero. So
yeah, I think the important distinction is there because I assume Nintendo probably ended up publishing it in Japan. I don't know who published it, But obviously, Shinin, yeah, who published it first. Obviously, they would have published it themselves, obviously in America and Europe. But there is a rule in publishing games in Japan where you have to be Japanese. Basically, you have to be a Japanese company to be a publisher. So indie games can't publish themselves in Japan, unless, of course, you are Japanese yourself. And so you need to partner up with a Japanese publisher.
Where's Shinin based in? Is it based in Japan?
No.
You think with a name like Shinin, but apparently not.
Germany.
Yes,
okay,
Germany.
Mad Germans.
But
Awesome.
but the update for this is coming in September. It will add 6 new tracks and 2 new cups to the game. So nice to see this getting another little update. And I don't know, this is one that I'll usually bust out of parties a lot, whatever. And it was easily one of my first games I downloaded on the eShop. But but I think this will be. I think it's going to be free.
That's awesome.
So I do believe it's free.
I suppose the update will apply to the Wii U version.
Probably not.
Probably not.
No, that's
I've got it. It's also on Wii U.
Slightly different.
Yeah, you have Fast Racing Neo.
True.
So
yeah.
RMX.
I'm missing 3 letters.
Completely different game.
Do you want to continue your notes, or do you?
For now, until I say otherwise.
Until you say otherwise, okay. Well, I've been on the radio once or twice reading news. I could do this. All right. Next piece of news. It's related to Monolith Soft, and a new job listing suggests that the company is looking to. A new job listing suggests that Monolith Soft is looking to make a fantasy action RPG.
Surprise! Well, there's someone to make a RPG series.
I think the surprise is that it's coming out before 2 is even released.
Well,
I mean, skeptics like me still think it's going to get delayed somehow, and yet no, apparently they're already working on the next thing.
It'll get delayed.
Well, maybe, I don't know. It'll still come out year 1 as far as the Wii U.
Oh,
but,
yeah, definitely, yeah.
I don't know. The music's already done recording, and we already have at least some portion of like English voice acting, so that there is that. So I mean, this is just Nintendo wanting to make sure that releases like whether that are huge in localization, like something like say even Zelda and even this, they release the same day worldwide. But no, this is the Monolith stuff is for a company I've just seen quite a few bit of postings for their company, and they are quite a large developer for anybody that does not know. If I can read basically this job listing correct, is that it was a series of job listings, and it was posted by NeoGAF. There was a user out there that is known for posting threads about this, which lead to more and more speculation. The listing asked for, amongst other things, programmers and battle planners, those with experience in action games and responsive combat. Now, here's where it gets so interesting. The job advert includes a few scant pieces of concept art, and if you can probably one of which shows a medieval setting of a character with a medieval armor and of course a sword, and one of the other ones, another one with a knight posing by the statue. So it seems as someone joked about this, I forgot who was, I mentioned on Twitter that since the Switch is not getting Monster Hunter World, it just seems like Monolith Soft is like, you know what, we're making our own.
That has happened before with other platforms, but yeah, I mean, I'm not too shocked that Monolith's making another RPG series. It's kind of what they do. You know, they're quite good at it.
Don't forget Day of Crisis.
Isn't that pretty decent?
I've not heard that. That's the one thing I've not heard about that game.
I don't know. I heard it's playable.
It's named quite well.
It's the most ridiculous game you'll ever play because it's just like the world's coming to an end. It's like, okay.
So it's like, hey, you know that crappy Day to Tomorrow movie, whatever? It's like, yeah, think about that, but a little bit further down the rabbit hole in terms of.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's crazy. Don't you fight a tornado in that game?
I believe so.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you fight a tornado. Yeah.
And you fight grizzlies, I believe.
Does this tornado have sharks?
Maybe
at the same time. I'm not entirely sure.
Tornado have sharks? No, I don't think so.
I wouldn't put it past it.
Oh,
yeah, but that's what we need a sequel to. Forget. You can scrap Xenoblade.
You want Disaster 2.
Disaster 2. Days of Crisis.
Anything else to talk about this? Whatever. I mean, other than speculating when Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is going to actually have a firm release date.
I'm excited because it's Monosoft. Anything they do, I tend to gravitate towards. So there's that. But
yep.
So I would like to see like a new series out of them. And Xenoblade itself is quite, flexible in what it is. It's not like a strict pattern. But yeah, I like to see, just them try, something slightly new. I mean, and it can still be a Japanese RPG, but just with a different tone, a different, set of gameplay mechanics. They're obviously very, very talented team, and so yeah, it would be cool to see some more different things from them.
Well, I am going to skip one item in here and save it for the end because this is going to have a fair bit of a discussion, a little bit more. But the next bit of news is a new ARMS character has been finally revealed, as we were teased last week with the ARMS Twitter. The new character is Lola Pop.
Yes.
And
that's what a brilliant name. Oh no, Colin doesn't think so.
It's better than Sucker, so that's a bad joke. But no. Basically, what we can say to this, like, for anybody describing out there, character is a pantaloon-wearing female French clown. So, and she comes equipped with nunchuck arms.
Yes, it's a very powerful combination.
Terrible combination,
nunchuck
but
clown.
Also, you know what the character does when it actually goes into a blocking mode? She inflates.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I know, and. Somebody was suggesting, somebody like read like the description, like, yeah, she inflates like real clowns, like just like real clowns, she inflates. Pardon?
Yeah, I think that's part of the official description of the character.
I'm like, clowns inflate?
What clowns have you seen?
But no, this is all part of the this character though, which I like the design of it. Whatever, I'm glad that they're kind of continuing on the whole female fighter route with this and. This is one as far as design I can definitely get behind on and one I'm interested to try on. But this is all part of ARMS update version 3.0, which I know is going to add a little bit more ARMS to the game as well. And it is, I think, coming along available this weekend, which also will coincide with another edition of the Global Test Punch. Yes, they're going to open that back up to anybody who may have some interest in the game or has not actually bought it. So we have that as well. Anybody willing to try out Lola Pop?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And especially with the new character, I think it's a good excuse because it is, as we've discussed before, it's a clever kind of rollout of content having like new characters in a fighting game and being free because the news site's just pick it up as news, and so it's like free promotion for your game, and combining that with another test punch, there's be a new wave of Switch players now, which are going to jump in, and some of them may go out and buy the game.
Yeah, and I think and I mentioned last week or whatever, like about how getting this bit of new rolled updates would be able to generate a little bit more interest in ARMS. I mean, this game didn't necessarily bomb. It just it didn't really gun out of the gate like a new IP like Splatoon did. So
yeah,
but it's
I think when it first came out, it was like super bare bones. But my thoughts on Lola Pop. One of the dumbest character designs I've ever seen in my life. It's terrible. Actually, what are you doing? I like the.
I'm gonna say it right now. Name a better video game clown. Can't be done.
It can.
No, I can name you Clown Man from Mega Man 8.
Is Clown Man the better clown though?
Clown Kirby.
Clown Kirby. That's not an upgrade.
No, that's a copy ability.
What's that Twisted Metal guy? He's a clown.
Oh, not no.
Maybe.
What is it? God, what is it name? I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. Sweet Tooth. Sorry.
Sweet Tooth. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. Jeez. But no, other than this, whatever. I mean, it's nice to see this new content being rolled out a little bit faster at this point. So I'm generally glad to see how far they're going, and if this rumored 20 total characters is going to actually come to fruition or not.
Well, I hope some of them are decent.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be nice.
Whoa, throwing shade.
Oh, geez.
I like the design of the pot.
I'm not a fan of the roster. Frankly, it's a bit.
What's your favourite one out of them? If you had to pick one, who would it be? None of them hold your interest at all?
Ninja guy looks alright.
Bark and Bite.
Ninjara, maybe.
Ninjara? You like Ninjara? Okay.
Yeah, we'll go with him.
Not Bark and Bite?
Who?
A robot policeman and his robot police dog? That also has a very good name with Bark and Bite.
It's not that clever, though.
No? It's quite clever.
No.
Yeah, the dog serves as cover. The dog serves as cover.
Bark and computers run and bites. There we go. Bark and Bite.
It's just the most generic name for a character. No, it's terrible.
Hmm.
What came first, that name or the character?
We're seriously going into this as far as that? Okay. I do think it's... Okay, Lewis, do you still have your notes back up?
They are back up now.
Okay.
Which is good.
I will basically continue on... Okay. Continue basically below the arms character, and once you get past the last item on there...
Yeah, we can jump back up.
There is the item above the arms bit that we talked about. That is saved for the end. So, okay, go ahead.
So next up, we've got new Mario, Luigi, and Metroid-themed cars for Rocket League. They've been announced now, and I believe they've been shown.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to click the link just in case my computer crashes at this point.
They have been shown. They have been shown.
They look awesome.
That's
especially the Metroid car looks amazing.
So what did Mario and Luigi cars look like? Because we saw a car with a Mario hat at the announcement.
It's more of a color scheme than actual like you're not driving a hat with wheels. You're driving a car with that's like just the color scheme.
Well, you weren't driving a hat before; it was a car with a hat, but so it's different to that then.
I mean, legitimately, the Metroid one does look like Samus's ship just transformed into a car.
Ooh, that is good.
And it does look really cool.
It's got spider ball wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to hear. Harrison's excited voice.
I am.
It's just like, it's got spider wheels.
Sold.
It does, and it is awesome. Yeah, but yeah, it does.
I look at that on my phone.
I'm glad they're doing like this like actual original stuff for Rocket League for the Switch version. They're actually making like proper use of like Nintendo characters. I think that's one of the things people don't really seem to get about multi-platform games. The ones that appear on the Switch will have Nintendo exclusive stuff. At least that's the pattern we've been seeing.
Yeah.
So it's a bonus.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's a nice, easy thing for Nintendo to do. I mean, it's like they've obviously got to trust in the team. That they're going to make a good quality product and they're going to do right with their IP. But if they do, then yeah, I mean, it doesn't cost them anything to loan out their IP for the game, for the version on their system, and it will sell more copies in theory. So more money for the developer, so they should make more games for their system, and obviously more money for Nintendo because they take a cut of those profits. So another one of those win-wins. But yeah, it's cool to see. Yeah, I don't think anything. Maybe a good topic for a future episode or something. Like the most egregious use, where like maybe adding in the Nintendo stuff has actually done more harm than good. Nothing comes to mind, but there must be an example out there.
Yes, there is.
You have to dig deep a little bit. Probably.
Exactly. So next up, Marion Rapids has a season pass. I don't know how to best to deliver that news.
Surprise!
Surprise! It's
Surprise!
Ubisoft game with a season pass.
Well, one thing, I guess you want me to read this off for you, Lewis. Well, the season pass is going to be releasing basically will be offered on August 29th, which I believe is still the release date for the game. And the more I think, like, I haven't heard much more about it. I mean, yes, we've heard the rave reviews we got from E3 2017 and little things here and there from like different conventions. It just, I feel like I should be hearing a lot more, or like people get previews. I could be wrong. So
it's kind of a trend with Ubisoft games of late. Because I mean, was it For Honor? It had a huge surge when it was first announced, and then just before it was released, it went super quiet. And even after it was released, it's like
I've seen some bits and bobs around Mario & Rabbids recently, like on the video channels and such. I've noticed people have kind of got their hands on it, and they've had a little play. They'll be able to talk about their thoughts of the first part of the game, and I'm sure we'll just see that continue. And it will probably obviously ramp up next month into the actual release, and because I think that was kind of the point. Especially like obviously the leak wasn't planned, and so it was going to be the quick bang thing, as they ironically those leaked shows in one of those slides. It was the reveal at E3, and then the new the surprisingly good news around it, and then the good reviews as it were, and then splash with the actual launch. So it might be even a thing where they actually only kick up the press for the game, kind of at launch, and just try and make do a big explosion of press opposed to the trickle and the grow of the press. But it'd be interesting to see. I mean, obviously the season pass. It from what I saw, because I did see a little bit about it earlier. Like you get like new maps and new guns, sort of stuff. So none of that seems bad. But I don't think that's a bad thing, because I don't think it's the sort of game you look at and you go, they've cut bits off here.
Yeah.
Obviously, playing the game is going to be the test, but I don't like the way they're trying to sell it. From what I've seen, it's not like I don't think they're using any nasty tactics. I think it's just going to be like if you play it and then you want more of it, you can pay for some more of it. It doesn't. Yeah, I don't feel they're going, this thing that you really want, which be in the game, is we're holding back this character.
There's no like features they tucked away in the DLC or anything like that. So
and we're not buying, so that's okay.
Oh, I mean, it's a nice incentive for that, so I'm pretty happy. Yeah, I mean, I'm still on the fence for this game, but yet I'm glad it still exists. So
I feel like it needs a demo.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a demo. I really do hope we do get one, and I think for some people who really like the way this looks and the way it's being developed and shown so far, the only half that I've seen people who are just not interested in it is because they're just not necessarily fans of XCOM. That's just it.
Yeah. I was sold when they said, it's basically XCOM with Mario. I'm like, done. Take my money. I don't have a Switch, but take my money anyway. So.
Or even buy the DLC for Amazon. You might be able to redeem it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure we mentioned on the show, something which caught my attention on Mario & Rabbids is it does actually have local co-op.
Okay, that is good.
Which really surprised me, because like usually turn-based strategy games don't have local co-op. Right. So that's called a nice little addition. Keeps me happy. Anyway, next up on the news though. Wow, this is a leading intro. Final Fantasy 15 producer strongly hints that the latest Final Fantasy game will be coming to the Switch.
This is hinted, right? So we don't have full confirmation yet. And
no.
But did you see? Okay,
what's the update here? Like, there seems to be back and forth on this one every couple of months or so.
Well, it was during on the video on the Twitch stream during Gamescom. One of the producers, whose name is escaping me, he was being basically accosted. I don't want to say accosted. Like, well, the guy doing the interview at the Twitch stream was saying like, so we want to know about another platform that rhymes with our streaming platform right now, whether it's going to be coming to that. And of course, this was at the time when they announced Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, and it's basically a mobile version of Final Fantasy 15, but with the characters basically are all in chibi form. I mean, the monster design looks good.
So I assume that's what they're carrying as the latest version now, then, yeah?
Yes. But I don't know. No. Here's the thing, though. It's like let me go on. Okay, it's just when this is being announced, they're like, okay, this is strongly suggesting. It's like, is this being hinted at as far as the Pocket Edition coming to Switch? So that, of course, led to many just thinking, okay, I'm not sure about this version because it seems like a very dumbed down version as far as a port in terms of visuals. Yeah. So, but I don't know. I don't know what this could be, but for something like this with Square, whatever, I mean, you clearly see Square is interested in wanting to do work with Nintendo on this console. Mm-hmm. It's a matter of like when and why and what is appropriate. But for me, do I feel like Final Fantasy 15 or some form of Final Fantasy can come here? Yeah, I could probably see it.
Okay, so say Final Fantasy 15 does come to the Switch, would either of you two buy it?
I haven't played a Final Fantasy game since 12, so...
No, I've not played 15 yet, so if it came out on the Switch and I'm still yet to play it, I would pick it up there.
Because, I mean, for me, it hasn't been a good Final Fantasy game since Final Fantasy 9, maybe?
10?
No, 10 was awful. I hated 10.
You really hated 10?
Yeah, 10.
10 even 12? Okay, I can understand the hate. I can understand the animosity against, like, 13, but 12 is kind of least.
Okay, 12 was okay. I got on with 12. Okay, it wasn't mind-blowing, but it was good. 13 was obviously awful, including its terrible sequels. Yeah, 9 was the last Final Fantasy I sat down and was like, this is really good. Yeah.
But I mean, you know, the word on the street, as it were, 15 is a good game. One of the good ones.
Well.
I mean, I've heard half and half of it, but it's one I'm willing to try out.
I haven't heard great things about 15. So.
Oh, have you not?
No, not from people who I know have played it. Yeah.
Oh, I see. No, I think it would be a great game on the Switch. I mean, I think it would just be technically very impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Especially in its portable form. It's just a big open world. You can, it's just kind of the scope of that game, and also just like the detail, like whether it would have to have the scope, but if it would have the same detail would be one thing. But yeah, it'd be just great. It'd be a great fit for it because also RPGs in general are good to dig away when they're portable.
Yep.
And if this did happen, it would be the only way you could do that for 15. So
what if we
cool.
What we did get Final Fantasy 15? Well, we got Final Fantasy 15, the fishing spin-off game that they're making. What if we got that instead?
I think it'd be more likely we get Pocket Edition.
Very true. Yeah, it's very true. Which sounds terrible, by the way.
I was like, I joked about it initially. Then I was like, I'm doing that.
that would be a good way of getting around. Like, if there's any technical issues, they can get around it by doing that.
Yeah, it'd be very easy to put. I imagine Pocket Edition. It'd be profitable.
Yes,
it'd be profitable in some sense, but are some people happy with a design choice? Probably not.
The thing, like getting 15 on there probably can be done, but as a huge technical challenge. But yeah, if you just slap Pocket Edition on there, that'd be easy money. It's not what the fans would want.
Square can be known to take the easy way out at times, so yeah, Pocket Edition coming to Switch.
And they could even do that evil thing where they'll put out Pocket Edition and go, "Oh, we're just gauging interest in the Final Fantasy brand." Yeah. It's this small thing we're kicking around. Final Fantasy, have you heard of it?
Or they rebrand it so it's Final Fantasy Switch Edition. It's just the Pocket Edition, but
well, that'd be even worse.
They're worse because people are like, "Oh, it's a Switch version." And it's like, yeah,
Switch Edition it is, and it would be the Pocket Edition with some bonuses. It would be Pocket Edition with a Mario and Luigi hat.
Wonderful.
Wonderful indeed.
Aren't
we optimistic today? All right. Join us in another month or so, and we'll have an update on the 15 Pocket Edition, the Switch Edition fiasco. Next up, though, not just ARMS, we've got some new Splatoon 2 content on the way. And this, I'm not sure we mentioned with the ARMS news, but this kind of all came out at Gamescom. And what is new for Splatoon 2? And noticing, I don't even need my notes up for this one. Is we have 3 things announced.
Memory.
It is The first of the three things is there's a new stage. I'm not sure the name, but it's basically a
Lost
giant ship.
Outpost. Oh no,
okay.
it's no. The first one is Manta Maria.
There we go. But yeah, it's like an old wooden ship with giant sails. Yeah, it looks pretty like a cool arena. You know, being squidding around. But it's just like a new kind of visual design for an arena, which looks impressive, and just graphically it looks cool. Like you can see way off into the distance. Like the first camera pan of it, like made me think of like some Assassin's Creed game or something.
Oh, wow!
Like before the ink started flying, and it was just like this giant like wooden ship, and like on at the dock. Camera's far back. It looks pretty impressive.
No, I like it. It really does, as far as an enclosed area where it's on a ship. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So
that was the first of the three things.
Yeah.
I may mix up the order now. There's definitely a new sub-weapon, which is the bubble something.
Bubble blower.
Basically, bubble blower. That's the one. Yeah. Like the little ones you have as kids, and you would blow bubbles with a little plastic hoop. It's kind of like a big version of that, and you wave it, and like ink bubbles like float around in the sky, and then you can shoot them, and they explode. Which seems very effective, and seems like you can use that very strategically. And the weapon it comes paired with is the Forge edition of the Splattershot Pro, which I took another mental note of because Splattershot Pro is my weapon of choice. So I'll try this Forge edition with its new sub weapon.
Lewis's recommendation.
But yeah, the idea is obviously you blow your bubbles, as it were. You wait for them to slowly drift to the desired location, like near some enemies or just near a patch of land which you want to take cover, and then you shoot them, and then they all explode at the same time. If you are on the opposing team and if you see those bubbles coming your way, if you shoot them down yourself, they won't explode. They just kind of disappear, which is good. And the third of the three announcements, I can't remember what that was.
It was a new Salmon Run level, which is
yes,
it's called Lost Outpost. And
it's got a bit more indoorsy bits.
It's got lore. According to the lore.
Oh.
This place used to be inhabited, but was lost due to rising sea levels. You'll be able to take down some Salmonoid bosses in the Lost Outposts, and all these updates I think are going to be available. Yes, they will be available starting on August 23rd. So I already have mine already ready.
Yeah.
Yes, today.
So they are available now.
Yeah, indeed.
Actually, no. Let me take that back. Manta Maria, the boat arena, that'll be available on Saturday, August 26th for both Turf Wars and Let's Play. So, yes, there you go. That is what I think is for Splatoon. So.
Okay. So let's. Has this been moved?
Yes, that has been moved.
Oh, it's confusing now. The final piece of news then. We have obviously the Super Nintendo Classic. Pre-orders went up in America. In fact,
I got one actually.
You got one.
I got one.
So there's now two on the pot, listeners.
Okay. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, before we get into the whole pre-order business on there, or actually no, I'll talk about the pre-order business here. I got home from work on Monday night, and it was late night on there, and I knew because during this time they were showing it was Japan's Nintendo YouTube channel was already updating videos about the SNES Classic and its new features. So at that point I'm like, pre-order should be coming up fairly soon because it said in that press release at the beginning of the month from Nintendo of America that they would become available by a specific list of retailers by the end of the month. And sure enough, and of course for anybody who wants to find some great sales and updates, follow Wario64, please. It is helpful. It really is. And I get home and I decided to drink with a couple of my friends at my house, whatever, I had my laptop up. And then I just look at Twitter, and I get an update saying, the SNES Classic is available for Best Buy, and I just, like, run back to my room, get my wallet, type in everything, and all of a sudden it starts to freeze up. I'm like, oh no, they're all gone right now. And it says, it's still in your cart. Would you actually like to put all your information? Yes, make sure everything was in there, and I'm sweating. I put in, and I wait 10 minutes for the confirmation email, and I'm thinking,
Come on.
I didn't get it, did I? And it pops up, and sure enough, it got right there. I was like, oh my god. And then a friend of mine, he ended up getting 2 of them. Well, one is a guest, and one from his account. Well, he ordered from a guest account basically on Best Buy, and he ordered twice just in case. So under 2 different cards. So he's giving that one to another friend. So my duty the next day, though, it got a little more complicated, and I think you all saw, like, Amazon started putting them up at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning, and they were all gone there. And then Walmart put up theirs. That was gone in a minute. Then came Target. That was gone in a minute. Then it got a little bit more murky. GameStop announced that, yes, we're doing pre-orders, but they're in store right now. I ended up rushing over it because my whole goal here was, okay, I have mine.
I was going to pre-order as many as I can.
No, I'm going to pre-order as many as I can to get to friends. That's it. I feel like the only one to help out. That's really my goal for it. And I know this is about to talk about the features, but does this really mean something that this has Nintendo learned anything from what they did as far as fiasco for the NES Classic? Because we didn't get pre-orders of that one, and here. No. I feel like blames to go around as far as, okay, Amazon, why are you putting these at so late in the morning or early in the morning? And then, I don't know, it's sheer insanity to a point right now. Are scalpers able to do this so quickly that I don't know. The way I look at it, though, is it's a double-edged sword. It seems like whatever Nintendo can do to make this right, it's still going to meet some ends where people are not going to get them. And my only thought process of this is they're going to supply well enough, hopefully, during launch, and those are going to be gobbled up. Yep. And then the stock is going to be increased, whether it's December or November for the Christmas season. Mm-hmm. So, is a matter of them trying to increase stock right now, and hopefully stores limiting it to 1 per person is able to, clamp down on the whole from all the overselling and the scalpers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, the real test will be going forwards, of course, because with the NES Classic, it was basically just, it only had the 1 shipment, right?
Well, no, there was plenty other there were plenty other shipments after.
Oh, okay.
Because I ended up getting one for a friend for a birthday present. That's what I did for that, and the thing is, we never could pre-order that one. We never did here in the States, if I'm mistaken. Here, there are pre-orders, and now everybody who is just upset at Nintendo and even whatever retailer out there that put these up is like, oh wow, I'm not going to deal with this anymore, and of course that leads to the whole smug responses like, oh, I couldn't get a SNES Mini. Build a Raspberry Pi, why don't you? I'm like,
yeah.
And I went in a tangent about that on Twitter saying, it's fine if you want to do that. My stance on piracy is, if you can't find something that is, unavailable, or for instance, you're not going to find a physical copy of Earthbound out there for a reasonable price unless you want to, or even Super Mario RPG. I can understand that you want to play these games in some form.
You can get them on the Virtual Console.
You can. You can get them, but it's just that's a whole different bag of can of worms in terms of how are we going to be able to transfer those purchases over to the Switch,
exactly,
or if there's going to be anything like that. It's just I'm in the camp of I'm not going to rage too much at Nintendo basically for this whole debacle again, but still it would be very nice if they could just release a statement about this again, saying for people who did not get the pre-orders out, just to state to further state, hey, these are going to be readily available at launch, and then more shipments going to happen probably by the time before Black Friday. So it just, I don't know. It just, for something like this, is this Nintendo basically building up more hype to a point where, hey, once launch comes, you're able to get it? That drives.
I think Nintendo knows the value of their small plastic boxes. that they make. They know what they're worth. You know, they know they're in high demand, and they can sell out easy enough. I think Nintendo does like creating exclusivity. That's the thing.
As in creating scarcity, you're saying?
Well, pretty much, yeah.
Well, there was a 2020 report from the 80s where it showed people were trying to get copies of Super Mario Brothers 2, and yet they went to the shipment plants and they were still producing them. It wasn't they had them available. Yeah. I mean, Nintendo's known for something like this. And again, I'm not. I had to even calm down some people on Twitter about like, listen, it's not just NOA's fault. Yes, it's messy right now, and I will say this is much different from what the NES Classic's going on. It's just, we have pre-orders. It just could be a little bit smoother, but I just feel like there's blame to go around as far as retailers. But also, this is on NOA's hands as well, in terms of, like, again, I don't want to pass judgment until after launch and see if anybody gets there, because I'm in that camp right now where I just don't want to admit so much outrage to it. I was upset that I was not able to. It seems like every little pre-order link came out. I sent that to all my friends, like, hey, here it is. Go, 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 go. Here's another one. Go, go, go. And then it's either fried up or it's fried up, or they're all taken out of stock. And then you got Think Geek. Did you see those bundles? They're ridiculous.
Oh, well, the original NES Classic?
Or... No. They have one NES Classic now. Yeah. But here's the thing.
Oh, no, I've not seen that.
They are, okay, if you take the $80 price tag of that, okay, there are ones out there for like $200 for bundles, and it has like a Mega Man helmet and a Mega Buster.
Yeah.
I saw it for $40 on there. What they're trying to do is get rid of stock.
Yes,
that's what they're doing.
So. Yep.
That's my tangent on there, but
too surprised.
I don't know. What does everybody else have to say about this whole pre-order snafu plus everyone mad online?
I can see why.
Well,
Oh, go on, Liz.
Go on.
Okay, well, I can see why they're mad, but it's just... Yeah, I don't think this is something that should happen. I think there should be enough for everybody. But I don't think that's the way Nintendo's ever operated. I think they're like, we'll make enough so we don't have any left over. And then we'll make a new batch and sell them so we don't have any left over. I don't think they want any hanging around. They want to make sure they're completely sold out. Why? I don't know. I mean, they can make a bunch more money by just constantly having these things in demand, but I don't know.
For me then, the real test is going to be what happens next with the SNES Classic. Yeah. So, will there be a point in time where someone who wants one can walk to a shop and buy one without any hassle? If that does happen in the future, I say all's good. I think there can be like mad rushes around launches. It's not a good thing, but it should be somewhat expected. But yeah, I feel after it has been released, maybe give it a few weeks and whatnot. But yeah, there should be a point in time where you can just walk, if you want one, walk into a shop and just buy one. And if that happens, you don't think that'll happen at all?
I don't think that happened. No.
And then they failed. That's kind of the mark I hold them against.
And they have failed us.
They have failed us.
I reckon, like, at some point between its launch and the Christmas season, you should be able to walk in and buy them. Yeah, and if that doesn't happen, then bad on Nintendo.
Bad on there, but also I don't want to hear when it comes to when this is inevitably discontinued, because I think it was listed in the press release for this that this is going to be a limited item. So
it's this year, right? You said, yeah.
Yeah, it's in writing. It's in writing. Even though I really wish this thing could go further on, but it's like I'm not going to be shocked if it is, because it's, I don't know. I like when they discontinued the NES Classic. Of course, it was caught us all by guard. This was essentially, I felt like, Nintendo's way of like, okay, we should have properly said something about this, but also, let's redo this again. Let's do this right. And I'm just hoping they're able to do that, and I don't want to, because this is, I hate the response of people just like, oh, I'm just going to pirate these games because I can't get them. I'm like, okay, you can buy Super Mario World like cheap as far as a cartridge at the store right now. Here it is, and it's like, and it's just like dead silence. But It's a mess. It's a mess. But I know. And this is not the original tangent of the story we're talking about. We were talking about the features, which, yeah, but that's oh well.
Yeah, so there has been new features announced. We didn't know about them before. So the first up is a new rewind feature. And it may not work quite as you would imagine at first, because a lot of retro games do have rewind features, and you just kind of hold down a button, and you go backwards.
Yep.
Exactly. Not how this works.
Yeah, just like that noise. Yeah.
Exactly. So from my understanding is you can like jump like a set amount of time from a quick save type thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There is a type of rewind function in there, so you can jump before the moment you're in, which is cool. Though. It would be more cool if you did a bit, but I do like the added features, so this is cool. So yeah, and it's probably sort of thing you use like, oh, I died. Let's go back 15 seconds, and you don't have to see the 15 seconds.
How I feel about it because I would rather like it. I don't.
You don't have to use it.
The rewind thing. I know you don't have to, but the rewind feature feels like these games were harder back then, so they need like things for newer players to get into it. I feel like it's easy mode. You know,
here's the thing: as far as an option, you don't have to use it.
Sure, exactly. Optional options.
That's it. That's it for people who are really who never really got a chance to play these. I know that's a bit of an easy mode, but to me, it just doesn't bother me as much. It's just there. It's not forcing you like, hey, you can use this, or you have to use this. Like, no, you don't have to. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be kind of cool to use, like, for instance, if I was playing. Okay, obviously, if you're doing like speed runs and things with this, yes, that's cheating. That is legit cheating as far as when it comes to it. So, but
I think it's good, especially if you're introducing this to a new generation. If like you're introducing it to somebody who's like never played a 2D game, for example.
If you're introduced to a new generation, you'd be like, "This is how we did it back in the day. Here's a controller. Off you go." No gimmickry. No.
Oh, 5 minutes later, they just want to play what's new. It's not like they don't have to.
True.
It might be the extra step required to get them to appreciate and enjoy these games
by giving them a feature that we didn't have back in the day.
Yeah, it's like having stabilizers, Colin. You get used to them, and then after a while, you don't need them anymore.
Chuck them in the deep end and see what happens. That's what you do.
Oh dear. The next new feature, though, is depending on the display mode you're using, you can have decorative frames around your gameplay area. And so,
Super Game Boy style.
Exactly, yeah, slightly like the Super Game Boy.
Yeah.
I don't know how many frames and what designs are available. But it's a nice little addition. But yeah, the interface does genuinely look in line with the NES Classic. It looks in the same sort of style.
Yeah.
The copies that I've seen that have been given out to the press so far, like review units, and it's looking like it's like each game that I've seen right now, it's like it's running incredibly smooth. So no shock. They said as far as like controller link, which is now, what was it, like 5 or 7 feet now, or something like that. I mean, it's still slightly short, but you guys got different measurements over there. I forgot.
Feet is still feet. I heard 5 feet.
Yeah,
is the length.
That's an improvement over. Was it 3 feet before?
3 feet was the first one.
Yeah, that's ridiculously short.
And 5 is more adequate, but could be.
I'm glad you realised that, Lewis. 5 is indeed more.
5 is more, but more would still be better.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, that's the end of our news, though. So I think now's a good time. Now's the time we should jump into some of our listener questions.
Ooh. The first in this new era of Nintendo Voice.
Yeah. New, old is new again. So we put out a shout out for some questions, and we got 3 in return. So we're gonna go through those now. And the first up from no. I almost read out something different. First up from Jonathan Dyer. With the success of Castlevania on Netflix, what would you guys think of another reboot of Castlevania, but more Bloodborne style? What time of day do you prefer playing your video games? I prefer afternoon time. So these are multiple questions.
We have two questions, yeah.
Mhm.
And let's stick to the first one. With the success of Castlevania on Netflix, what would you guys think of a reboot of Castlevania, but more in a Bloodborne style?
So, yeah, hard Castlevania, even though Castlevania was always been a bit challenging.
I guess not just hard, but...
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean...
Well, didn't the Lords of Shadow, the one that was developed by Kojima's team back in 2011 or so, wasn't that supposed to? I mean, it wasn't a. It was more of a God of War style type of gameplay.
Very much so, yes.
Yeah, this one, as far as that, I don't know. It could work in some sense of it, whatever. But I feel like you'd be neutering basically that series from actually getting far more people to come into it. I mean, I know things like Bloodborne has been successful out there and people do play it. It just, would those things be compatible enough, whatever, to be a nice little marriage of ideas?
Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean, I could see it being more like, it would make the game more intense, especially when you're fighting, like, say, Dracula and the battles, like, really hard, you know. That'd be cool. I mean, it makes sense as well, because the original Castlevania, I believe it's original, the bosses were very challenging. And in Castlevania 2, they sort of like, we better lay back on that a little bit. Yeah, I'd be happy in a more of a Bloodborne style. It just has to be done right. That's the thing.
I think for myself, I mean, like if you did a Bloodborne style Castlevania, I feel like something would be amiss. Like, I mean, Castlevania is kind of remembered for its gameplay more so than its theme.
Yeah.
Like the theme of Castlevania, it would fit perfectly with a Bloodborne style game. And I think that's why Jonathan's mentioning about the Netflix series. So just lean more in that sort of style.
Side note, who has seen the Netflix series?
Me?
I have not. I have not.
It's 4 episodes. Even though it's a glorified epilogue, it's still good. It ends.
Mm-hmm.
It ends basically with the introduction of a character that I like. Where I'm like, at the last episode, where I'm like, I want more, please, no more.
Yeah, more is coming. Just got to wait a little longer. Yeah, I did very much enjoy those 4 episodes. So yeah, it's good to know because like they very shortly afterwards announced there are more on the way. So that's good. That's good to hear. So yeah, I think it would kind of work in a way, in the sense like it would, as in it would probably be a game which would sell well. I think you could just take that property Castlevania, take Bloodborne style gameplay, work together. But
yeah, see the issue.
Personally, I'd rather see something gameplay wise, which felt more like Castlevania.
I'd like it to go a bit more like the roots, because I mean Castlevania was a side-scrolling platformer, and I'm pretty sure Bloodborne's not known for its platforming. So, in the style of Bloodborne, but I wanted to go back to having strong platforming again, because even Lords of Shadow was just like a glorified beat 'em up, essentially. Yeah,
I guess you could marry those two ideas, but it is more of a very combat focused game. I mean, it's got exploration in there.
Yep.
But it's not Metroidvania though, not in that sense.
No, I would like it all set in the castle though. That'd be cool.
Yeah. But I would like this. I would like to see a good, honest attempt of a 3D Castlevania. Make a good Metroidvania.
A few good ones.
Like, I mean, Prime showed you can do 3D Metroidvanias. It doesn't have to be first person. I don't think Metroid Prime only works because it's in the first person. I reckon it could have been a third person series, and the puzzles would still work, the gameplay would still work.
Have you guys played? It's on the PlayStation 2. Is it Portrait of Darkness? It's one of the more obscure Castlevania games, but that's probably my favorite Castlevania. It's a 3D Castlevania game, but it's done really well. All set in the castle, and it's pure exploration. A few platforming sections. It's good. That's kind of like what I want to see.
Yeah.
But
I mean, either way, more Castlevania would be good. And I guess in the vein of the Netflix show, that is new. Hopefully, there is a new game in the works. Or maybe just the reception, because I feel the reaction of the Netflix series.
The issue is
more than they would have anticipated, at least.
Yeah, the issue is it's Konami, I know they went back and released Bomberman, but I still feel like they've yet to prove themselves to be worthy of being in people's good books just yet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think building a new Bomberman is one thing. Building
Yeah.
a new, genuinely good original Castlevania is another matter entirely.
Yeah. So.
Cool. Let's move over to question number 2 then. This one is from Sam Chandler, who asks, what is your favorite classic sports game and how would you modernize it? Would love to know what the other members of the crew.
I do want to preface, though, at this one, this question was posed by me, a friend of mine, Sam Chandler, who runs a great podcast, based on St. Louis sports and culture. They invited me actually over there about 2-3 weeks ago to talk about sports video games. And they asked me this same question out from it. And but if you do, it's like episode 19 is where they actually interview me on there if you guys want to check it out. But aside from that's I end up getting there but if you want to skip to me in there, it's like 25 minutes in. So, but I for this one I don't want to if I remember my choice, I believe it was it was I said that my favorite classic sports game back in the day, as far as it was hard for me to choose because I wasn't really into the simulations aside from like NHL. But it's one that I really kind of go back to a lot, though, is of course has been Punch Out. I mean, to me, that is one as far as Nintendo making boxing feel a bit fun, as far I can feel like at a young age, I really felt like it was. Now, the question was like, what sports game would be modernized? But I'm kind of cheating here, saying that was my favorite sports game, but there was one I would modernize. I would like to see Excitebike get another return to form. Now we did see that a little bit in Excitebike 64, which I enjoyed, but I think it hasn't been aged a little bit well. But and I think the company behind it, I think, was like Nintendo Software. Nintendo Software Technology is still there, but it was Left Field. If I can find the developer, but I think that would be one I want to see another chance again. Even though we did see various forms of the Excite series with the Excite bots and trucks. So
ruin my joke.
Left Field say what? What was the joke?
I was going to say, you can't forget, the true legacy that it left with, Excite bots and Excite.
It was Left Field Productions, which I believe they left Nintendo as a second party developer, or no, they are still they're still doing games right now. It was 2000. Yeah, 2002. Oh God. Oh, you.
Mine was
that hurt.
Bad joke just got missed. But that's probably for the best.
Anyway,
probably would have had the same reaction.
That's my answer. What do you guys got?
So I think I could be wrong, but I think both mine and Colin's will also be not necessarily traditional classic sport games. We try to see. For myself, though, does Game Boy Color game count as a classic?
Yeah, that's far enough.
I guess it does at this point, doesn't it? So Camelot, Mario, Golf. In the RPG sense.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I mean, I didn't oddly play the Game Boy Advance version of this, which I believe, was a similar game. But the Game Boy Color game had a really nice blend of RPG and golf game. So obviously you could level up your character and it would actually, not completely original in golf games, but, it would change your statistics of your character. You could, you could putt better, or you could be more powerful. But it had a nice balance between like the leveling up and the talking to people outside and the actual playing golf.
It felt like a legitimate RPG outside of the golf game. Yeah.
In a bizarre way. And it had a nice atmosphere around it. I would love to see another one of those games because it also didn't take itself seriously.
That's right.
But it was fun to play and it was good as a sports game in that sense. Like it was a good portable golf. Outside of all the gimmicks.
I mean, honestly, I feel like the Game Boy Advance game is far superior, but that's just personal.
All right,
personal choice.
I was only put off by the. I'm pretty sure it had the pre-rendered.
It did, yes.
The Jubei was in that phase of its life. It was like, oh no, these aren't the pictures I want.
It basically was just Golden Sun Golf.
True,
but
And I think they even had the same like emoticons for like the
very nice.
no editing one, I think. But yeah, I like to see one of those. Yeah, if you're going to bring back a Mario Sports game, do one with a full RPG behind it, or at least ARPG behind it. And it would be cool on the Switch because it would be portable as well.
Yeah, see, my choice would be a good choice for Switch because of the whole multiplayer aspect. It's not really a classic sports game, though. I mean, I'm not going too far back. Its latest entry was on the Wii, and that's Mario Strikers. I love to see Mario Strikers come back, fully fleshed out more. Because I mean, the GameCube game surprisingly was more fully featured than the Wii game. The Wii game felt very much like a quick, we'll throw something out there and see what sticks.
Yeah, checking all I made on there.
Yep, which was very good. But yeah, I can definitely see that. I think that series still has potential to have that kind of wow factor. It was really good. It was a really good game. Really, and the series was fun. But yeah, I'd like to see it done better. So
yeah, that's cool.
That's my pick.
Awesome. All right, we got some good picks there. So we'll move over to our final question for today. This is from another Jonathan. Jonathan Cruz, who says, I'll coordinate my questions to the next Splatfest. Number 1, if you were invisible, which developer studio would you like to visit with all access? Number 2, which Nintendo character would you fly with? Like you'd be flying the same as they do. So like an Airwing, hats, or Kirby Puffs. So I guess a flying character / item. Who wants to jump in first? You don't have to have both ready. You just have one or the other. So studio like all access to while being invisible.
Okay, easy.
Not
easy
just
one.
all access. Okay.
It's extremely easy. Retro Studios.
Yep.
What are they doing? Yeah, that's all I know.
Would you take any other advantage of being invisible whilst you were there?
Do you need another advantage? I mean, you just sneak in.
You don't need one, but I mean, being invisible would have advantages because I liked how Jonathan specified you would have all access.
All access.
That could just be the question. I know it's nicely themed around Splatoon.
Access as in like you can open doors or just I don't know.
I think that just means you get to see everything they're doing. But you also are invisible, so I would take advantage of that while you have the opportunity.
By sneaking stuff out? What are you talking about here?
Well, by holding things up and making the employees scared that there's ghosts.
Disrupting people's workday. Yeah, it'd be great.
Exactly. All right, so we got retro purely to find out what they're actually working on.
Absolutely.
Which is a big question, to be honest. We still have no idea.
That's the thing.
All right. Harrison.
Any
invisible flight thoughts?
I'm going to give 2 choices. One is Nintendo, one is third party. First, though, I was going to say Retro Studios, but I feel like I want to keep a little bit difference here and see what's going on. I would
repeat answers on this one.
I don't know. I just would like to go within. Well, I think Nintendo EAD. Or no. I think I would really like to go. Well, Monolith Soft seems like a very interesting choice. I mean, I just want to see what goes in with them in terms of planning.
See a new fantasy game.
Yeah, we could probably see that. I do want to see that. But I mean, I just want to get behind the scenes of something as far as like value developer of Nintendo, what goes into them. Like
Harrison, I thought you would go for who's developing Prime 4? Is it Nintendo themselves? Correct?
Yeah, they don't really specify more than that.
I thought Harrison might go in and have a sneak peek look at that.
No,
I think that might have been the reason why, because they've not given an actual studio, so he's only got power of visibility. He needs to know where he's going.
Yeah, it's just an internal team. Third party though, I want to go inside Valve so I can actually shut up everybody about and see if Half-Life 3 exists. That's
it. God.
And it probably doesn't.
And you would be taking advantage of being invisible there because you would survive.
Well, I don't know.
Giving that a good word. Or the bad news, as it were.
I don't want. Well, if I was uncovered basically there in Valve, I don't want to feel the wrath of Gabe Newell. I just really don't want to. I can't imagine what that's like.
Scary.
Right. But we've all answered the first. Well, apart from me, which I'm about to do. So we'll do that. I'll give my answer for invisibility, and then we can do our flight-based answers. So get thinking.
Okay.
So for me, good feel.
Oh.
I think that'd be a fun place to explore, especially after like the little look we had last time when they were making Woolly World, and they made all the actual wooden characters in advance, and also for like making the stop motion things. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not sure if that's better. Is that easier or harder when you're invisible? If I grab a woolen Poochie,
does it also become invisible?
would that turn invisible until I'm done? Or does he just?
I'm going to say yes. It's not my question.
No. The reason why it's even better now. I'm going to pretend I've thought it through. Taking advantage of the invisibility, I'd be able to help out by making stop motion videos without any stop motion, because I could just be invisible with a woolen Poochie and a woolen Yoshi, make them jump around and do things. But because I'm invisible, we don't have to do 30 shots a second. It removes the painstaking process entirely. It's quite productive and fun. So that's my answer.
And they're also going to think the place is haunted because this animation is working itself. So
no, that's the thing. No, they don't have to see it in production. I sneak in there, I film it all in real time, and they think someone has painstakingly gone through the stop motion process. So go, there's some extra episodes here. We better port it to the Switch so we can put these out in HD. There we go. So how would we like to fly with our Nintendo 8?
Oh, okay.
Like who do we want to? Wait, is the question who we would want to fly with, or how we would want to fly?
It's a bit of both. So you got to use a like Nintendo themed, well, either a character, an item, a vehicle, or whatever. But something from the world of a Nintendo to assist you.
Okay, so even though this is not Nintendo developed, so basically not like Superman 64S flying through kryptonite rings and stuff.
No, I don't think Superman counts.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, mate, it's on a Nintendo system. We can allow it.
Why
you got to fly on Superman
64. Oh.
I'm going to fly on his back through rings.
Yeah, how thrilling that.
I would like to fly with the characters from... well, they have means to fly, whatever, as far as like technology. But the characters from Sin and Punishment. I want to be part of the whole. I would be part of that whole chaos.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Hectic.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that would even be pleasurable at that point. I mean, it's hard enough to catch up when it's just on your screen.
Yeah, I know. So for me, I mean, my one, I was going to choose Pit. How awesome would that be? Mm-hmm. Well, he's a cool dude to fly with, so...
Well, how do you fly with it? You just kind of hanging on, or... You're not...
I'll have a quick word with Panatina and be like, hey, give me some wings.
You're going to get the power like Pit.
Yeah.
So I'll
be like, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Be great.
I see them. How would I like to fly? There's a lot of good options, of course. I don't want to just go over, like, there's obviously a few Mario items to make you fly. I'm surprised Harrison didn't go down the Metroid route. You could fly on Samus's ship, for example. That could be quite fun. On the ship theme, Jet Force Gemini ship.
Jet Force Gemini.
I mean, it's a bit of a weird ship there. I mean, they have a coffee at the beginning.
I remember a lot.
That seemed to be quite a relaxing trip before it all went terribly wrong. But then they got to shoot some giant bugs. Actually, this is sounding more attractive by the moment. I'm going to go in the Jet Force Gemini world. Because whether you're going, say,
Sin and Punishment.
Two plan, as it were. It seems that's a legs up, relaxed type operation. And in the worst case scenario, you're shooting gigantic guns at even bigger bugs.
Can I just quickly chime in and say, Green Bobbin, who's in the chat, who asked us this question, has informed me that I can only fly for 4 minutes as Pit.
That's true.
So I'm like, I was going to say Star Fox is Miles, but then I was like, well, no, I have to have my legs removed. I don't quite fancy that fly around in Star Fox.
Well, did we already find out that that whole bit of canon was actually, well, not canon? I mean, it was a nice little. I believed it for a long time.
So did I, because it made sense. But
it did. No, it did. It really did. But I think Miyamoto had said the reason why with the original puppets that they did for the Super Nintendo game was because it was design choice, just because they didn't want to design different feet for like animals.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Cool.
Seems like we got a lot of fun places to fly with people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we got a nice selection of Flight and Visibility. When is the next flight? I guess it's a couple of weeks away. Yeah, it's not this weekend, is it? I don't think so.
The next
Splatfest.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
the first weekend of September.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, so yeah. Weekend after next. Not long to wait. A bit more Splatoon 2 Splatfest. That does do it for our questions for this week. And obviously, we are nearing the end of the show itself. And yeah, this is our usual thing. We'll go round. We'll give our contact details and anything we want to plug. And so, Harrison, if you let the people know how they can get hold of you.
Oh yes, you can get a hold of me on Twitter at @hmilfeld, and as far as my Switch profile, you can find that pinned to the top of my Twitter profile. So yeah, add me there, and I'll be able to add you back.
And yourself, Colin.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at HighlyEmbarred, which is how I think it's spelled. Plug. I have something to plug. Something I started quite recently. I've started streaming a lot lately. Through my personal YouTube channel. Essentially, just as it started as I'll test to see if I can actually stream at first.
Yeah, it's a good thing to do. I recommend that.
Yeah, it's a good idea. And I was like, I can. Okay. And so yeah, each day at 6 p.m. UK time, I've been playing for Metroid Fusion.
Ooh.
So.
And how can you find this content? This is a genuine question. Where do I go?
It's my channel's Highly Embarred.
Highly Embarred, youtube.com/Highly Embarred, maybe?
That's right.
Maybe. Cool. Excellent. I will check it out.
Cool.
Listeners should too. And for myself, you can catch me on Twitter at Leuvision, LEUVSION. And I've just got the usual Nintendo voice things to plug. So if you enjoy the show, please do check out patreon.com/Nintendo Voice. Of course, there's also a chance to win a Super NES Classic currently. So do take advantage of that opportunity if you can. And yeah, please, if you haven't already, check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Nintendo Voice. I've not done a Let's Play since I last mentioned last week, but I do plan to do more soon. And so if you subscribe, you want to be notified of them as well as our standard episodes. So yeah, that is the place to go for our content, and do check out Colin's channel as well. And with that, that has been episode 103 of Nintendo Voice.
See you all later.
Catch you later.
Yep. Take care, everyone.
That was a little delayed. See you all.